Hi there and welcome to your talent palette. In this video I'm going to do a bit of a deeper dive into boilerplates, how to set them up and the settings that you can play with in the background. I've talked to them previously in the tutorial on how to generate your assets, but as I mentioned this will go into a bit more detail because they have some pretty neat tricks up their sleeve which I'm going to show you now. As the administrator of your organization in the talent palette, you'll come into the platform, you'll create your master profile and tell it about your culture, your tone of voice, your values, etc. You'll create some jobs and then you'll create some assets. Now, when you're creating those jobs, what you might do is input some boilerplates. You may already have them in your organization. You don't need the platform to generate them for you. So you've inputted them in the job creation process. The tutorial for doing that will now be appearing in the top corner if you want to go and have a look, or if you've already done so and remind yourself. But let's say, for example, we have this master profile, we have our department profile, and we created this job in the master profile. And when we did, we had the form to fill out. We would have had this field, and at the time we could have entered some text here, but for this example, we haven't. Similarly, you've got the outro boilerplate, and again, we haven't entered anything here because I'm going to show you the platform generating those for you. So let's close that down and go straight to generating some boilerplates for this role and for this master brand profile. In a previous video, which will be popping up in the corner right about now, it talks in more detail about what all this means, what this is for, the benefits of using it, etc. And I'm just going to jump straight to creating these assets. Again, in a previous video, I give a bit of a voiceover of what you can do whilst these are being generated, but for the purposes of this one, I'm just going to speed things up so we get to them quickly and I can show you the types of settings you can play with. Excellent. There's the ping that lets you know it's been generated. If you hang around on this page, it will take you straight to them. You don't need to do that as is covered in the previous video. But in this case, we're here. So let's take a look. So let's look at the intro boilerplate. You can click on this and you'll notice that you have some settings here. Let's turn these off for now. So this boilerplate intro, we'll look at outro in a moment. You can set it to be included in all job adverts and all job and person specs for any job you create via the master brand. I'm just going to turn them off for a second and show you what that would look like. So if I wanted now to go and create a job advert or a person spec, let's just do the job advert. I create these. The system now knows I have these boilerplates and I can choose if I want to include them in the input and output. Let me just show you what that looks like. Again, I'll speed this up. Excellent. Here's the job. And as you can see, when you click this open, it's got your intro boilerplate already put in there. And you can scroll down and it has your outro. Again, it's generated this based on what you've entered with your values, your mission, your purpose, etc. So just pausing so you have a quick read of that. Okay, great. So let's go to the assets and we can manage them there a little bit more easily. So here we can see we've got intro and outro boilerplates. You can style them to pin them to the top, and you can lock them once you've done editing them. As I've shown in a previous video, you can come in here, you can edit, you can leave feedback, leave comments so you get this just right. For example, you can see a little M dash there. You might just want to change that if you wanted to save changes. Close that. Okay, so if I choose to turn these on as the administrator, then if I try and go back now and generate the asset, if you remember last time, It asked me if I wanted to apply them to the job advert. This time it won't do that. I'll click it, and what should happen is the little notification should apply to say you've got them, but the intro, which we were just playing with, should be automatically checked on. And there you go, it's checked on. I'm not going to do it again because you kind of guess what would happen in that scenario. And if I did the same for the outro boilerplate, that would also be defaulted to be active. Turn that off. Let's go back to our assets. As you can see, I can go to the outro. I can do the same here as well. Now, when you turn these on, what then appears are these options. So, for example, for this specific job, what you'll notice is that now those boilerplates have been created for the master brand. If you go back to a job within it, and you go to Edit, what you should see is the boilerplate has now been repopulated. If you remember, this was empty when we looked at it previously, so the system remembers and it pulls it through, just to make sure there's consistency throughout the whole experience. If I now go to the other job in the other department, let's go and look here. Edit, this is a different profile. What you'll notice is this is still empty. Now, what I can do is there's a cool feature here where if I wanted to, I could automatically inherit it from the master brand. So again, it can save you time if you just want to apply. Sometimes departments want their own boilerplates, or they want a new intro or a different outro or everything. You know, I've worked in all scenarios, and this reminds you that you're using the master brand. Alternatively, what you might want to do is create your own ones for this department. So let's just go and close this. I want to generate an asset. Let's just go with intro. Let's just go with intro to save time. You'll get the gist. And I'll speed this up. I'm creating one now for the department product and tech for this particular role, engineers. Great, and that's been done. Here's the new boilerplate. And what you'll notice, if you go and check out the department profile creation tutorial, when talking about the tone of voice within product and tech, I said it was a bit more direct and a bit more candor. And what that's done actually really well has caught that and pulled it through to here. So you can see that's really good. Now what I could do is switch these on, and every time I now create a job for this particular department, this intro boilerplate will be created on all jobs, and you'll get that pop up just to remind you of that. However, and finally, if you go to the master boilerplates, here are the all the boilerplates we've created. Go to list view so you can see them all differently if you want to. It also shows you if it's been AI generated, user generated, or AI generated, user edited. So you always know there's an audit trail. You may create one, someone else goes and edits it. So you've just always got that reminder if you need to go in and check up on anything. So let's just say on this one, I want to actually apply it organization wide. What it will let me know now is that product and tech have their own boilerplate. Do I want to overwrite it? So in this case, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to apply organization wide, and I'm going to do the same for job specs as well. That's the intro boilerplate. I'm now going to lock it. I don't want anyone to edit this. Let's go to the outro boilerplate and do the same. That pop-up doesn't appear this time because we didn't do an outro for product and tech department profile. Great. And then that disappears. Now, what will happen is if I go back to that job for the product and tech profile and try and generate a job ad, what should now happen is because you have set the master profile boilerplate to be applied across the organization, someone creating an asset for the departmental profile shouldn't get the option to choose their boilerplate because as administrator, you've mandated it to appear on all job ads and job and person specs. So you click generate. The user will be reminded that this has been set by the admin to contact them if they would like to change it. That will, when it's done, will appear in the usual locations, either at the bottom of this generation page or on the assets page. There you go, it's been generated. And as you can see, here's the intro boilerplate. There's the outro. And if we go back, so reveal the real culture talent partner. So if we now go back to the master profile boilerplates and look at that, it's the same there as it is for the job in product and tech, which is here. As you can see, it's got boilerplated so you know what has and what hasn't if you end up in that scenario, and it's exactly the same there as well. So there you go, everything you need to know about boilerplates, their settings, the safeguards that are in place, whether you want to apply them on a individual basis for every job ad or person spec you create, whether you have a master profile where you want it just for those jobs, or you want something different for departments to cater for different needs necessarily, or you just want it everywhere. And there's the simple route where everyone is saying the same thing on all your ads and specs. Hope you found that helpful and that feature is useful for you. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.